doing? I'm doing all right. I'm just I'm on the edge of my seat here watching this PNC father-son riveting Sunday here. We got Jason Longer and Bernie playing the up tees. Battle in the Woods is here. What the hell is going on?
Jason's not playing the up.
Yeah.
Bernhard's playing the up ahead of his son, right?
He's like 100 yards ahead of him.
Certainly came in handy there on the 18th. I mean, Tiger's hitting in this fairway bunker. Bernhard's flying it by 70 yards and just sending it way up there. The whole thing's Bernhard's a little too intense about it, if I have to say so myself. Like, I know it's a scramble. We've got people sending me text messages with images of how he's teeing the ball up in the bunker. I mean, it is a scramble. You can place it, whatever. He's like standing very close to Chuck and Tiger on the green, kind of like jumping in there to read the lines, getting a little maybe too intense while also playing up 100 yards.
He's a defending champion. He wants to defend. What's so bad about that?
Do you think, what do you think is more egregious? Bernie playing ahead of the kids. He's playing the tee box ahead of the kids. Or the fact that the tour is totally going to crowbar that this is somehow win 83 for Tiger if he wins. What's the more egregious result or part of each potential winner here?
That's a good toss up. Both speaking of legitimacy of both the I think probably Bernhard. Look, I get that he's an older gentleman at this point. He won on the Champions Tour like a month ago. He's won multiple majors. I guess 1 billion times. What was the graphic, PJ? They said they compared Bernhard's Champions Tour.
I'll pull it up. We got
Bernhard's Champions Tour career against Tiger's career. I mean, come on. We don't.
Oh my God. It's actually way closer than I thought it'd be. Look at the money numbers.
12 majors.
12 majors.
How many regions, traditions? 40 million for Bernhard and his Champions Tour, 120 for Tiger in his career.
PJ, I gotta ask. Have you just been on cloud 9 all week with the couples comment about how he thinks Tiger's can play a lot of Champions Tour golf?
I did see that. I almost sent it to you guys, being like, we got to start prepping for when Tiger gets on the Champions Tour, because I think that's when the eyeballs are really going to start coming.
Tiger's going to a sweater, a fire engine red sweater. This course is a joke. It's set up.
It's so cashmere and battle tested for a playoff.
Okay. Quiet.
He's gonna lock in.
I gotta say, I know this isn't the easiest tournament to call from the booth.
Oh God.
But this has been just preposterous all day. Like I feel like I'm watching people talk about something that like isn't actually what's going on.
What do you mean by that? I mean,
they're just so over the top. This is like Liv, Arlo, Jerry, and Faraday levels of like lapping it on.
Well, so here's the thing: you can't be critical of the kids. Like you can't say like, well, that was real poof ball. That was wow, what a horrible shot. You can't, but they are a little extra eager to be like, what a brilliant strike by so and so Junior. Charlie Woods did have a hole-in-one. We should say that was. I mean, probably going to be the most retweeted, shared thing of the year on the PGA Tour at this point. Kind of an incredible thing. About 1:30 this afternoon, I was watching for my kids' gymnastics and phones lighting up because he did go blocky. He did go full blocky. He didn't know that it went in. Crowd didn't know that it went in. No. Tiger didn't.
That is not me. That's PJ on the soundboard.
Apparently his first.
I was surprised you didn't do it. We had to do it. If not, now when?
I enjoyed your bit about how the commentary is. They're trying to apply like serious commentary to the action on the course. What were you kind of tickled about with that? With the Lanner kid?
I mean,
Like,
all of it. I mean, they're like the longer kid. He doesn't play. He doesn't play a lot of golf, so he's struggling down the stretch here. It's like it's a scramble. It's a scramble. It's fine. I think that they should put these kids in the cauldron the last day, and it should be alt shot.
oh my god, it would take 5.5 hours. I know there's only one
be
ball
so
in play.
Fast.
Oh, they'd be hitting it into the ferns and off the cart path and everywhere. I know it'd be one ball in play, but
one ball, just get it. The pace of play has been just awful.
It has been a little. Well, you get Bernhard in there. It's never going to be quick. He's got his Tour Edge Exotics golf bag. I don't know. Sam, good for Tiger walking 36. You know, we're
36 plus.
We're sure. We're getting some faux ball speed numbers, though. I mean, every time Tiger plays, like, oh, the speed's there. Speed's like every time. I'm so sick. Charlie hit it. Do we think Charlie topped at 179 ball speed on 18? Like, I know he's very good and speedy, but he's also like 15 still. Anyways, maybe that's true. But
God, the Panthers won.
either.
The Panthers
What's
might
that?
be better than the Bears.
Dude, I like the Panthers. Bryce looks good. They're feisty.
I think the Panthers are better than the Bears.
God, I have some old tweets coming. I have some old tweets coming from August, FedEx St. Jude week about the Bears that were quite a different tune. While we're doing year interview part 9, our last installment. My commies won today. My grand old commies. My Browns are 3-12. Everybody's on IR. I think Bailey Zappi was warming up to play quarterback at one point today, I'm told. But my commies won. And this is Swag Sports Minute. You go to swag.golf. God, PGA knows ecstatic. They have new 49ers collab. Sourdough Sam, your mascot. They're actually pretty sweet. I know the Niners are not having a year to remember, but the Swag Niners collection's out. They've got a bunch of other team collabs. 12 days of Swagmas still going on. Looks like they have Christmas themed head covers. They have a dreidel head cover. So they support all denominations over there at swag.golf. And hunting, like, I don't know. They really get creative over there. And they're high quality. Like I got a few. It's just some of these head covers are like flimsy garbage. This is like a high quality deal, heavy, feels weighty, good stuff. And now they've got a lot of NFL collabs going on. Good time to jump in at swag.golf. Do you have anything for your Swag Sports Minute, Andy, you wanted to relay to the Bears? The Bears got whipped by the Lions. Is that what happened?
I think we're the worst first quarter football team in the history of the NFL.
History. That's saying a lot.
Let me find this.
Did the Jets win, PJ? They played.
No. Great loss. Great loss.
Okay, good.
Looked like it was winning. Aaron played well again. It's getting to run it back point. Unfortunately, I don't really know what the better options are, but great loss. Happy for the Rams.
Good.
I got to
club twirling. What's your Bears stat?
How many first quarter points do you think we've scored this year?
13.
We're up to 20. 20.
Oh my God.
We haven't scored all year on our first drive of the game.
That's hard. I mean, that's where so many teams excel with that opening script, and it works, because you can do it on Wednesday and perfect it as opposed to the moment of the game. Like Kevin Stefanski's, I think, maybe the best in the world at that, but that's hard to never score on your opening drive.
Have not scored.
God, the Lanner kid keeps
keep hitting the wiper.
I mean, we're not.
Do you want? I got a little insight here. Getting text message about the Langer kid's job. Apparently works at Centerview, which is. Those guys get. This is a quote. This is a quote from an unnamed source. Those guys get absolutely crushed. Maybe the longest hours in banking. I bet he doesn't play much golf at all. So that's not an easy job to get. It must be a smart kid. But he's absolutely crushed with hours.
Look at this guy.
This is such a disgrace.
Bernhard just walked
way up
70 yards. Look, the tee is essentially on where the fairway cut begins. I mean, you can't feel good about yourself. I don't think Bernie has much shame when it comes to these things, given that his anchor's putter's jammed into his sternum, the other 51 weeks a year. Come on. This is ridiculous. So that we got that going on. Anything else in golf you want to talk about? I mean,
or sports?
No.
College basketball refs are just a joke.
College football playoff was bad. What's your problem with the refs and hoops?
It's just like they don't understand how to like even let a game just have like the longer thing.
This is absurd. He just hit it to like where the grandstand around the green starts. I mean, the bunker he's 100 yards past the bunker that Tiger drove it in the regular.
Do you think Tiger said something to him yet in the game? Like, do you think he made some jabs?
I think he's burning up. Tiger's got to be burning on the inside. Just so angry that he has to watch. I mean, how do you watch Charlie at 15 or whatever he is and walk 60 yards ahead of him? Seems not right, but the whole competition's kind of a mess. Go ahead.
I was this is nothing about Charlie because I like Charlie, but it just every year during this tournament, it's just like the thirstiest thirst bucket challenge of the year with Charlie.
Not Charlie himself, but coverage of Charlie.
Coverage of Charlie.
Yes, it is.
Do you remember how ridiculous Sam Saunders' pursuit of pro golf was with the?
Did you know he's Arnold Palmer's grandson?
And just like you know what we have for like the next 20 years with Charlie?
Yeah.
You think about like what Drew Love coverage,
pre-qualifier, this or that. Yeah, we're gonna get a lot.
Charlie's gonna be it's gonna be its own economy in golf.
You think there's gonna be a Charlie tracker?
I mean, you read some of these people's tweets and you think like, are you gonna convince your company that you need to just go to every tournament Charlie plays? Do you think he's playing at Stanford? Do you think he's going to Stanford? Seems like that would make sense, right?
I would go to Stanford if the opportunity were afforded to me. I think I would. Yeah, seems like a good chance.
I think Conrad raised boys with Tiger.
They'll find a spot for him, right?
See
they'll find a spot. Yeah, I got some tweets from curmudgeons in the media about the coverage of a 15-year-old boy. Just people just like drooling over the coverage. It gets to be a bit much. Elsewhere in golf, before we jump in, Showdown, we got low ratings for the Showdown that came out. We never really talked about it on Friday. I kind of liked it. I didn't mind it. I like the real segmented 6-hole matches. Maybe they've done that before, but I don't recall that. I know they're like front, back, overall. But I love that I watch a 4-ball match for an hour and be out and go do something else with my kids and then like kind of track it and then come back in for the 3rd and 4th points. I really like the 3 matches within one match. But it got low ratings, got lower rating. I heard there was maybe some real kind of frustration amongst the parties out there. Not but the guys wanted to beat each other.
Didn't sound like everybody likes each other.
Maybe some real, just enough with this. But yeah, low ratings for that. I think those are going to keep going though. I mean, there's money in it for the agents putting it on, and the broadcast.
$10 million crypto that's handed out too.
The crypto box, yeah.
What kind of crypto do you think they gave out?
You're asking the wrong person. What do you live out there in California where everybody's just kind of?
I'd ask for only Dogecoin.
Okay.
I like that little doggy.
The little dog. All right, that's good. It didn't sound like it had a chance. It's whatever. It's at crypto.com. Charlie approach into 18 here. Good shot, front edge of the green. Not a bad shot. Better than.
All right, let's move on. We'll just get people the result. We don't need to.
Let's go to year in review. Can we
what are
jump
we?
in?
We're 30 minutes into this thing, and they haven't even played a hole yet.
No. We haven't been live for 30 minutes. We've been on here for 30
We're
minutes.
15 minutes in.
Okay.
15 minutes into our
I was
podcast.
like, that makes me feel better.
We were waiting out
I-
to see if it was finishing and
It's
going.
like-
Yes. No.
It's a perfect summation of where we are in the year in review that I thought we were on for 30 minutes because we've normalized the 3-hour recording.
Let's go to FedEx St. Jude Championship. We are on to the playoffs. Going to the postseason. This will be, as is custom, I think the least amount of effort that we put in to a year in review session. We much rather
really
dive
selling
into,
the show.
Yeah.
Selling the show.
Well, I think we got some good stuff. FedEx St. Jude Championship in Memphis. The new schedule comes out this week. There's really like nothing new about it. Everything, signatures are still the same. Barry does a great Photoshop for fried egg. We're fresh off the Kuchar Fest, and in the schedule graphic, he lists Wyndham Championship for this week, Matt Kuchar Wyndham Championship for the subsequent week. Just not a lot of enthusiasm around the schedule. It's like, honestly, almost exactly the same. Jay Monahan does a little scrum with the press, closed door scrum. We weren't invited to that one. Only a few people were. And someone asked him, does the release of the schedule now indicate that there's not going to be anything with Liv, at least through next year or 26 or 27? And his response was, I think that's fair. I don't know. It seems like we're moving. I don't know. 27? So release of the schedule, does that mean there's going to be nothing with Liv 26 or 27? He says, I think that's fair. Now, he may have interpreted that as, some sort of amalgamation with the Liv schedule instead of a deal with the PIF. Who knows? But that was August this week, this year.
Jason
Scotty
Longer
Scheffler.
is just body bag. Just gonna body. That center view boy.
Looks like PJ, identical, the doppelganger, PJ
Right.
doppelganger.
It's
You
really,
both live in New York too. You guys should go get some.
I know. I gotta go find this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Scott,
Champions Tour minute that he could be a subject on it. What's it like being the kid of the greatest Champions Tour player of all time?
so Scotty rolls into the
this is
playoffs,
over.
dominant season. What's that?
I hope this thing just is over.
Dominance. I mean, you know how many people are just only want one kind of resolution, and you're there sitting like Scrooge. My resolution is it to be over. I don't care, Charlie. Scotty Scheffler rolls in, dominant season, best player in the world in the playoffs. I talked about it the last few years. I think it's silly. He says on the playoffs format. There we go.
I remember this.
Let's get hyped for the playoffs. You can call it a season-long race and have it come down to one. You can't call it a season-long race and have it come down to one tournament. Hypothetically, we get to East Lake and my neck flares up and it doesn't heal the way it did at the Players. I finished 30th because I had to withdraw from the last tournament. Is that really a season-long race? No, but it is what it is. It's a fun tournament. I don't really consider
by Scotty.
I don't really consider it a season-long race. Like, I think it's the way it's called, but you got to figure out a way to strike a balance between being a good TV product and still being a season-long race. Right. Now, he added,
keep going.
I don't know how exactly the ratings are or anything like that, but I know for a fact you can't really quite call it a season-long race when it comes down to one stroke play tournament on the exact same golf course every year. Pretty good take. Silly called it.
It's a great take. This is where Scotty started to really, I feel like, come out of his shell this part of the year.
You really got picked up.
Can I just go back to the PNC here for a second?
Sure.
This is the second time in a row that we've gotten the entire walk up 18. The leaders walking up 18. This is, the height of the moment in a tournament. We never get this on tour telecasts. It's always like, oh, let's go to playing through. Or let's go straight to commercial. And this is the one tournament a year we actually get what you want, the walk up, like allow the moment to sit in. It's crazy.
I think this is on NBC too.
Yeah,
I think it's on the network, right?
Maybe this is one of those big events that Sam Flood talked about putting all their resources towards.
Probably does well. So Scotty kind of lambasted the format. Rory took a different opinion, but just sort of maybe an amusement. Because I love this format, because if it wasn't for this format, then none of us would have a chance against Scotty because he's so far ahead. So I really like this format right now. He goes, I think it makes the Tour Championship more exciting from a consumer standpoint. Is it the fairest reflection of who's been the best player of the year? Probably not. But I think at this point, we're not in for totally fair. We're in for entertainment and for trying to put on the best product we possibly can. I'll tell you what, college football playoff did not do that. We're going to Memphis.
How about the SEC boys?
I don't know. Should they have not gotten a third team in? Is that my big takeaway from the first weekend? 41-10.
I love them just belly aching all weekend long, and then their team gets in, and one of the conference they're just complaining about, the Big Ten, just goes out and just smacks them.
Well, second tier Big Ten team couldn't even get in their own conference championship, up 41-10. I don't know. SEC should just be a 2-bid league, maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah,
I'll tell you what, SMU shouldn't have been in there. Indiana shouldn't have been in there either.
You should Clemson. I know they won.
I think it should have just been an
an
8-team playoff.
Yeah.
It's kind of bullshit that Ohio State's playing Oregon.
Yeah, there's 2 games with double-digit spreads. Arizona State, Texas, like 14 points, and the Boise one, and is it Penn State Boise is 10.
That's like that opened at like 13.5 even. That was
doesn't seem great. So Memphis, on the subject of playoffs, we'll get to what happened. The viewership is way down, like way down. Do you know who won Memphis? This happened like 3 months ago.
Keegan?
No,
he won
BMW.
Hideki.
I had no clue until I did my research.
Right?
Just totally forgot. Yes, Hideki won. Hideki would start the day 5 up, like leaked oil, was playing crazy aggressive for being 5 up. And then Xander caught him. Hovland was in the mix. And then he birdies the last 2 and holds on. Hideki wins. This was the week that Hideki got held up in London. They got like,
I forgot about that.
And like Shota, his caddy, couldn't make it because his passport got stolen. Hideki's wallet got stolen. So it was like an eventful start to the week, coming back from the whole Olympics and the link swing and everything. But he eventually goes on to win. In European Tour of the Czech Masters, it's just PGA Tour mules just invading the DP World Tour. It's like Kevin Chappell, Jason Duffner, Snedeker, Sabatini's playing. It's just like ridiculous. In Snedeker, there's like all this content about Snedeker playing over there. It's just a mess. Rory, high praise for Southwind. They ask him, what do you think of this course? And never good. I would say it seems like you're fumbling for something. Just nice to say when you say, yeah, look. That's how he starts his quote. Yeah, look. We've been coming back to Southwind for so long that it doesn't really change much from year to year. You sort of know what to expect when you get here. Bermuda, pretty grainy around the greens. Very good green surfaces. Some of the best greens we putt on all year. Cantlay, to that
Sounds like
effect,
a guy who loves spending time in Memphis.
Cantlay, by the way, did the whole "it's all right in front of you" deal. He goes, my favorite golf course on the tour is quite the opposite from this. Riviera is my favorite golf course of the year. There are no hazards. It's all about leaving your golf ball in the correct spots and playing the correct shapes into certain hole locations. He says this week is more target golf. So I don't think that's praise. It seems a little just damning it with faint praise, I would say. Jay, on the other hand, says when you think about this tournament, he says you think about St. Jude, you think about Memphis, it's the heart and soul of the PGA Tour. We're excited to get underway here. It's the most soulless event. I know they do great work for the kids at St. Jude.
Hold on. If you think that it's FedEx HQs on the grounds, that's the heart and soul.
Yes, that's literally
FedEx,
like it's an arranged marriage.
It's
an arranged marriage. Yes, not by choice. This is the heart and soul of
the bankroll of the PGA Tour is the heart and soul. The $1 billion deal.
Just struggling to come up with what nice things to say. Cantlay saying this is just target golf. And then you got Jay with the heart and soul of the PGA Tour. If that's it, it's just not great. This is the week the PGA Tour announces his big postseason pool. You have a better chance of winning the lottery than this hitting all this tour championship, picking all the right numbers.
$300 gift card.
A chance to win a $300 PGA Tour Superstore gift card. Tron's all over this, tweets about it, going nuts. I think
that you're taxed on.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, and this is it's a push notification. Every time you open the app, it's like, please enter this, please enter this. It's rolled this contest out. And the prize is $300 gift card to the PGA Tour Superstar. It's an impossible thing to hit, too. It's like picking every game in the NCAA tournament right, the way they had it. Jay's interview, he did a big sit and talk. Oh, Jason Launer misses it. People ask him, when you think about where we are, engagements are our players, our partners, and our fans and our investors is really high and really strong. He's talking about his 30,000 responses to invest in our fans and in the fan survey and listening to our fans, really hitting the fan thing. Said they're really building the signature and full field event model. Says the models are perfect. The turnover is great. 75% retention rate. The dynamic has worked very well. Someone asked how he's doing. He goes, I'm doing very well. I love the spot we're in. I love the opportunities in front of us. Again, if you told me a year ago, we're sitting here talking to all you and we have a partner in SSG with the amount of experience in the sport and business world, I would invite you to ask any player who served as a player director or served on our player advisory council or the subcommittees on our player advisory council, the level of input and engagement that we're experiencing and benefiting from, and ultimately our fans are going to benefit from, is as high as I've ever seen.
Bernie.
Not
oh my
just
God.
Bernie just.
Oh my God, he threw the putter and
throws his hat. Same celebration as Phoenix. We
Oh,
gotta
Tiger's
work
got
on
to be
that.
burning. Tiger's got to be burning.
Bernie from the
God.
forward tees wins the tournament.
490-yard par 5.
Unbelievable. Too bad. I wanted to see Tiger and Charlie win it.
Oh,
All-time day with the A's.
next year. My pick casting, they were in the mix too.
They were. It's like, I almost tweeted gambling podcast. Casting them. You called it. I appreciate the question. I've never felt better, per Jay.
Right back to the chase.
Yeah. All right. I love that. His milk toast quote got interrupted by Bernie.
We interrupt this.
On the European Tour, we learned there's a year's supply of Pilsner or Cal for winning a long drive contest, which just equates to 365 cans, which is like whatever it is, 12, 14, 15 cases. I can't do the math right now. USAM is this week at Hazeltine. There was gripes about Christian Brand, like in the field, doing well early in the stroke play. He'd made 160K in 70 starts on the Corn Ferry Tour. So you get that whole deal going on at the USAM. I kind of point out, like, is anybody in AM anymore? Luke Clanton's flying private from Wyndham up to Minnesota, sponsored by Union Mortgage and all these things. Like, what is an AM? And Utah, well, it's the experience. 70 KFT events is real experience. What's wrong?
They're interviewing Charlie and Tiger instead of the Longers.
Well, I mean, come on. Let's be honest with you. This isn't it's not the Masters. All that matters here is Tiger and Charlie. Cool deal. Cool day. The hole-in-one was super cool. So Clanton gets up to Minneapolis, makes it through stroke play, plays well. Jose Luis Ballester beats Noah Kent, who was at Iowa, now going to Florida. Yeah, out. Peace. Des Moines, or he's out in Iowa State.
He wants to go to a worse football conference.
The medalist, I don't know if you remember, this was like a 39-year-old landman, like a guy who, Jimmy Ellis was the medalist in the stroke play. And they asked him, like, what's the difference? Like, I was like, 0 out of 100%, 0 out of 100 times after this, I would ever get this. Like, what's the difference between you and the amateurs and a lot of the other AMs? He says, quote, I don't get free shit. That's Jimmy Ellis, your medalist at the USAM. Kind of a remarkable story there in Hazeltine. Other odds and ends from the amateur. You had the Engel kid who was doing he had the baseball grip, right? I think he had the funky grip that was catnipped, or Garrett Engel. Yeah, that was his name. So that was a big. What's that?
You had the Speed Boy.
You had
Bobby Mazza.
Yeah, Bobby Mazza was there. He trains, Fred Perpall of the USGA and a few others. That was a big talking point. Brentley got a photo of just a truly egregious push cart. Thing looks like a wheelchair. It's like giant bit. Did I send that to you, PJ?
Yeah.
Just that they said it should have a license plate is what Brentley tweeted. The thing's so ridiculously big. But the Spaniard, Ballester, beats Noah Kent in the amateur at Hazeltine to take that down. What else do we have from that? Anything else? It was his 21st birthday, and he won in dramatic fashion. Kind of was up early, then got close and won it at the end. Memphis, the weather was hot. It was hot. It was 106, 107 heat index like all weekend. It was 102, 104. Just the red zone warnings, if you can believe it or not. In August in Memphis, it's hot. And just nonstop, like heat index 107, 106. Afterwards, Johnson Wagner, we got the Sean Miller deal where he was just soaked. They did a picture of him wearing his white dress shirt when he got off the course. Chris Vernon tweeted this, showing it on the YouTube. Just looks like Sean Miller at Arizona. Remember when he was soaked through his white dress shirt? Just disgustingly sweaty. Memphis, another weekend in Memphis. What else happened? Hideki wins it. He had the largest 54-hole lead on the PGA Tour of the year, but he played 12 holes. He played 12 through 15 and 4 over, just like kind of getting over aggressive. Xander and Victor catch him, but then he goes birdie to finish it. He led the field in strokes gained putting, which is very rare for Hideki, as you can imagine. Nick Dunlap was like, was down to the wire. So he finished T5, incredible, like very good finish. If he bogeyed the 76th hole, he would not have gotten to 51st. We would not have gotten to 50th. And the next event would have been out of signature, or wouldn't be a signature eligible on top 50 if he hadn't made par on the 72nd hole with a T5 at Memphis. He gets in as one of the last guys to Denver for the BMW. You tweeted, this would be a crime against humanity if Dunlap doesn't make it to Denver. I said humanity. And you said you were still riding a Caleb high, which we'll get to in a minute. Preseason Caleb was lighting it up on this Sunday. How about DFL? Second DFL and third to DFL was Spieth, Rory, and Homa. So these no cut guaranteed paydays. Wouldn't say this. It's just these guys were just trying to get through Memphis, right? Rory
that wasn't
next to DFL. Max was DFL. It was not great.
I think that the tournament being in August in Memphis, that it's a real penalty that it's a no-cut event to the guys that are playing bad. Right. Like that you have to trot out there every day.
Yeah, you got to just sweat through it. Sorry.
But I mean, at Spieth, I found a highlight. I didn't share. He made a 50-footer for double bogey on 18. Just walked it in early, and that was it. I'm out. The season's done. Going to get wrist surgery ASAP, he said. But walking into 50-footer for double. Rory did not play well. I'm not sure he cared to play well. Homa was not good. Denny McCarthy played well. He had a torn labrum and said he had changed his swing to like accommodate it, the torn labrum, and was in the hunt a little bit. We're like, God, that hurts. But he was in it. The last guy through, Keegan Bradley. Do you remember who notified him? He assumed he was done. His season's over. Keegan gets through. PJ said this might be his favorite video of the year in review series. Keegan notified by none other than the man who rings his bell. Zach. You have it for it.
Our Billy
boy.
Oh.
Billy
Boy.
boy.
Of course you somewhere else. Okay, so I just talked to Tom. He said the guys at like Tom Kim and Matt McNeely, like those Matt and Mackenzie Hughes, like they're because they didn't play well. There's guys can't drop far enough behind to get them enough points to jump you. So he says you're good. I mean 90+%. I would say even more than that. So yeah. Yeah, you and Scotty are good. I don't have any catering, so just make sure you guys grab some food. Okay?
What?
No problem.
Catering?
All good.
Let's
buddy.
talk about his jet.
For the plane.
For the
plane.
Yeah. Got it. That was and PGA Tour turned this into instant social content. I mean, Billy's like, all right, start the camera, calls him. He didn't say that, but he was open to them filming it for sure. And it was great content. And Keegan, as you know, would go on to win.
Big year for
BMW.
Keegan Bradley and recorded phone calls.
He'd go on to win. Billy Boy mentioned Tom Kim in that video. Tom Kim, he dented the green, and this became social content, it's sort of a summer of outbursts, beat up the locker, and was it Japan or Korea later in the year? Yeah, he puts a big dent in the green, and Tron was on top of that one, as you can imagine. So that was continued the Tom Kim, combustible Tom Kim summer. Lauren Coughlin wins the Women's Scottish Open, which is like incredible. Continues her breakout, essentially locking up Solheim. Just won Canada. Had been close to the
Tom
major.
Coughlin's daughter.
Tom Coughlin's daughter. Brooks Koepka
I think
beat
I made
John.
that joke the week of.
Brooksy beat John Rahm in a playoff at Live Greenbrier. I mean, you'd think Brooks Rahm playoff. I didn't remember this too clearly. Blandy was like getting in the mix, made a big Sunday run. Smash wins the team title at Live Greenbrier.
Summer Blandy.
Yeah, he made a big run, but Brooks beat John Rahm in the playoff at Greenbrier. Lastly, football is back in our lives. Preseason football. Caleb Williams for the Bears. The preseason game has this incredible like rollout, scramble, throw down the sideline. You know, people are just frothing at the mouth. The tweet here is, "You're not supposed to be able to make this throw." Rolling left from Clay Harbor. Like just NFL, serious NFL analysts like, oh my God, this guy's different. Andy is also buoyed by this, and he says, "My most unrealistic expectations about the Bears feel realistic right now." It's just a great August 17th tweet. And we've all been there. We've all done it. Unrealistic becomes realistic, and then reality sets in. Aaron Rodgers, to include PJ here in Football Corner. Aaron Rodgers had an interview where he just talked about his trip from Egypt. He said it was the one place that really lived up to the expectations. They asked him where else has. He's like, rarely ever in my life. Augusta would be the only other place that has lived up to. So that was golf aggregation catnip. And that's your WGC, not WGC, FedEx. It was a WGC, FedEx St. Jude Championship.
Hey,
week.
you know, Caleb's having a good year.
Okay.
He's got 3,200 yards, 19 TDs, 5 interceptions.
I don't want his dad to start tweeting at us, but Rome was pretty tough today. Rome was
2 fumbles.
Rome was bad today.
2
Not
fumbles.
doing well.
Rome was bad. That was not good.
That's a shame.
Head coach fired. OC fired. got turnstile offensive line. You know, let's be real. This has been a pretty good year. Okay. You know what also can help you have a pretty good year? Our friends.
I'm going to say Stripe. Oh, that's right.
That's right.
Good call. Yeah. Kevin Warren should be looking into Stripe. Get that instituted at McCaskey Way or whatever that place is.
Stripe builds financial infrastructure that ambitious companies use to launch their boldest products. Our customers range from hour-old startups to complex global businesses. So Stripe works with, as they said, lots of different businesses. Over 2 million businesses of all sizes. Huge companies like Alaska Airlines, Hertz, Lyft, people that do tons of transactions. All these businesses combine to power 1% of the total global GDP. So large sum. Whether you need just like a basic checkout function, which they do better than anyone, this optimized checkout suite that they have, or you need complex billing, they can be your partner. Stripe Billing helps more than 300,000 businesses, which is more than anybody else, grow with advanced billing software to handle complex business models, whether it's a flat rate monthly subscription, usage-based billing, invoicing, or anything in between. So if you want to learn more about what Stripe can do for your business, go to stripe.com.
Love it. We're going to BMW. I got one quick nugget I forgot. This week we learned that Luke Clanton had moved ahead of Nate Lashley, King Mule, and OWGR based off of like 4 starts in the summer. And this was sort of like, well, maybe we let the young guys have a chance. But all right, let's go to BMW, Castle Pines, Colorado. PJ, take it away.
All right, BMW and potential event of the year candidate, Women's Open at the Old Course. More importantly this week. Early this week, this Monday, the tour drops the mic'd up fans video from like Wednesday or Thursday at the St. Jude, where the guy's pronouncing Bezadenhout like booze hoot, and they're talking about Max Homa. It's like a 5-minute video. I did not clip the entire thing for this, but that was good content. That was a nod to, I think Wimbledon did it. And that was a carryover.
Yeah.
Other early week scuttlebutt. I just like this picture. The Cleeks visited the White House for some reason.
I mean, they visited the gate, so they don't look like they got in the White House. Yeah. They're in the plaza out there. Yeah.
I don't know. Blandy won the U.S. Senior Open. Does that get you an invite?
It should. A ceremony of signed declaration or something. Yeah.
But I'm glad that they got to do that. Tom Kim issues an apology for damaging the green at St. Jude. He said that he apologizes to all of his fans, and he will work to be better and not have these outbursts more in the future. And then by the end of October, he like breaks a door in half. So who knows at that point?
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Tom. The ratings come out from FedEx Sunday. Ratings are down over 1 million viewers from Lucas Glover last year for the FedEx St. Jude.
Well, he was sweating. How could it compare?
You can't compare.
That was a spectacle of sport.
So they're down over 1 million viewers on NBC, whereas the St. Jude was on CBS last year, but down 1 million viewers there. Live Golf Greenbrier does 165,000 views on the CW for Sunday, a playoff between the two best players on the tour there. The Pro Pickleball Association did 295,000 on Sunday in the same time frame. So everybody was just kind of, being like, you got Brooks versus Rahm, and you're getting outworked by pickleball. So not great for ratings there. We'll see what they have on Fox next year, I guess.
Yep.
Robots are the ball retrievers at Castle Pines this week. This was big. Catnip tweeted a couple times.
Yeah, that was like were they for 5 minutes for a social media video?
Well,
who can say? All right,
they got the social media video.
They did. There you go.
I thought that was funny. Monday Q Info has a long, kind of a tweet article describing. I don't know if you guys remember this. I forgot this until today. The Korn Ferry Tour playoffs point issue, because Max Grazerman still had Korn Ferry Tour status even though he didn't play at all, and he made the cut at the U.S. Open.
Yeah,
he made the cut at the U.S. Open, which gave him Korn Ferry Tour points to then push somebody out of the field.
God.
Instead of 156 players in the Korn Ferry Tour playoffs, they had 155 and Max Grazerman. And everybody was like, hey,
but he was playing in Denver.
Yes, right? He is in every signature event next year. So I don't think he needs his Korn Ferry Tour points, but that was a big, hey, this all needs to get figured out at some point. Peyton Manning plays in the Pro-Am in Denver, and much like Tom Brady, has just a cold top off
I forgot about this. Wow. Tough year for the Hall of Fame quarterback tops. Good year for tops.
If you're in the if
his reaction's so much better than
he doesn't hold the follow through. He doesn't do it. He's laughing it up.
Makes the joke. Anyone see where it went? Yeah. There we go. Good job, Peyton.
Can we compare? You probably don't have TV lined up.
I could.
Let's not overwork.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
25-hour.
So we've got Andy was tweeting about how at one point that man outplayed Phil Mickelson on national television.
That's right.
He never missed an opportunity.
Which is technically true, but Peyton was playing along there. At the Women's Open, it is like raining cats and dogs on Tuesday, so it becomes like a big storyline for what is this weather going to look like? Are they going to not be able to play at all on Thursday early? As the pairings come out, you have the super group, Charlie Hull, Lydia Ko, and Nelly Korda for the first 2 rounds. All 3 of them ended up being in it for the duration of the tournament, so that was great. As you mentioned, Brendan, the year supply of beer discussion comes up this week on the podcast.
Okay, maybe I was ahead of myself.
I think that might have been the Wednesday episode, so I had that just as a good SGS moment. Billy takes some fires back at Scotty, says he does not believe that the FedEx Cup playoffs are silly or stupid.
Weren't they on the same plane though?
Yes. He brought Keegan and Scotty, as we just learned in that video.
How about that?
So maybe there was a large discussion on the flight from Memphis to Denver. Who knows? But Billy also goes on Golf Channel and talks about how he felt on Sunday at the St. Jude, trying to get into the next round of the playoffs versus leading the Open Championship on Sunday this year.
Exactly right. I'm not going to lie to you. Sunday, I was super nervous. I was more nervous Sunday last week at FedEx than I was at the Open Championship trying to win a major. I just think when you're trying to, get to the next spot, trying to improve, trying to get a secure into the Tour Championship, which means a lot to me. I don't know why I was more nervous last week. I should have been more nervous at the major, at the Royal Troon, but yeah, it's important. I mean, it's tough to really just get back to playing golf and trying to win a golf tournament and play the best you can and not worry about the strokes, where you fall in the FedEx Cup, how many points you need. So it's a live and learn. And
the Baton Boy loves his PGA Tour playoff.
Sticking up for the playoffs. Thank you, Billy. All right, so Women's Open starts Thursday early morning, and the wind is just howling. The first groups are hitting like 3 woods into the first hole at the old course because you could not get it there. People were hitting like driver 3-wood or driver into par 4s on Thursday because of the wind. So it was a big photo screen grab for everybody just taking lumber into par 4s early. Minji Lee is wearing pretty much looks like she's working at Foot Locker with this ref shirt. Will Knight's tweets asking if she's headed to Arrowhead to ref the Bears Chiefs preseason game. Everybody was bundled up. I mean, it was clearly freezing.
Nasty.
Charlie Hull, vape in hand, after she was not allowed to vape at Le Golf National. Vape in hand, has the Thursday lead. I
thought at one point that she said she was smoking cigs so she'd stop vaping.
Well, the vape comes back with a vengeance this week. It's all over the place. She's got the Thursday lead. Her, Nelly, and Lydia Ko, they play a 6-hour and change round. 6 hours and 8 minutes for their first
I forgot about they went nuts about pace of play this week.
It was terrible. It was that I think might have been the worst of it, 6 hours, but that was bad.
It was like 2 hours to play the loop. It's not good.
Keegan Bradley, Ryder Cup captain. Keegan Bradley is your round 1 leader at the BMW. Wyndham Clark, this was a big Wyndham homecoming back to Colorado. A lot of chatter about that beginning of the week. He gets just eaten alive on the back 9. He goes into the water 3 separate times. He is really struggling on the back 9 of Thursday, but ends his round even. But everybody was just tweeting and posting, writing about how he was, a magnet to the water. Nelly has the lead after Friday at the Open Championship with Charlie Hull and Lydia Ko T2. So the stars are out. Everything was kind of aligning for an epic championship at the old course there. I like this Friday tweet, just a couple screen grabs of Rose Zhang, who was having a tough go. Had to go backwards from pot bunkers on multiple occasions early in her round on Friday, just showing how difficult the conditions were out there. Hideki is 1 stroke off the lead following Thursday at the BMW and withdraws, especially after winning next week. Yeah. Winning last week, he withdraws early, and everybody, and he's in it. He's 1 shot back of Keegan after Thursday.
Well, if he didn't play, he would the next week he would have been the 30th best player of the year, despite those 2 wins. Remember that.
So that's what really matters. Forget Riv. On this, I guess the Wednesday episode also is when Andy makes the declaration that Lake Tahoe should be a Great Lake instead of Lake Erie.
Oh God, I'm not going to revisit this.
A great take.
This is a terrible take. Go ahead.
So
Preposterous.
I figured that might come up again. Adam Scott and Ludwig break the course record at Castle Pines on Friday with 63s. So Adam Scott is your leader heading in to the weekend, and this is Scotty is incredibly frustrated. Hates the course. Is vocal for like the first time ever. Really? I have the video and the audio here. He is he goes into the water, takes it to the drop zone, is trying to spin it back onto the green, goes long, and is picked up by the ESPN Plus cameras yelling at Teddy about how much he hates the course. So I'm going to play that now.
Animated sometimes, but not as vocal as he is here. Watch this. All of them come back.
Is that not an upslope? Seriously, is that not pretty far in? How is that possible? How? How? How is that possible?
Wow.
He's angry.
It's an angry little elf.
So that's about as expressive as Scotty has ever been. Just screaming, how the fuck is this possible? After going into the water, and then that was a shot from the drop zone. He tried to play it, spin it back off what he thought was an upslope, and did not come back. Did not get what he wanted with that. Adam Scott and Nelly both have the leads on Saturday, and they both go out of bounds. Nelly goes out of bounds on 16 coming in on Saturday to kind of fall back. She was up by 2, I think, at this point, and goes out of bounds on Saturday. And Adam Scott goes out of bounds twice on the back 9 of his Saturday round. So both of them are kind of just collapsing in their respective tournaments at this point. Keegan has a 54-hole lead over Adam Scott. Ludwig, Alex Noren came to play in Colorado. Xander and Wyndham rallied for Friday and Saturday after a tough Thursday round, as I mentioned before. Sunday at the Old Course, Nelly is up by 3 shots on the 14th hole. She makes a 7 on the par 5 14th to drop her into a tie for a lead with G.I. Shin and Lydia Ko. Lydia Ko hits pretty much the same shot as Stacey Lewis on the road hole, but does not make the putt. She birdies 18 to get in the clubhouse win. Nelly could not match her, so Lydia Ko goes overseas to win the Olympics and the Women's Open at St. Andrews and secure her place in the Hall of Fame. She's obviously very, very emotional after the final round. They show her she was warming up for a potential playoff and then just breaks down in tears, but able to secure the gold medal and an Open championship at the Old Course there. Sunday
adds her to Lorena Ochoa won the other one, and who was there's 3 winners at the Old Course, right?
Stacey Lewis.
Yeah, Stacey
Lewis, yeah.
Yep.
Sunday BMW. This was the Matthew Fitzpatrick driver head issue, which we are still hearing about like 4 months later.
I think the rule changed, right?
Yes, got the rule changed last week. I think that was. So congrats to Matthew for that. But cracks his driver. Him and Scotty are just absolutely pissed at the rules official who will not let Fitz sub it out. And Fitz has been carrying this for 4 months, but finally got the rule change. So I guess as we've learned, maybe with the Jordan Spieth rule change for scoring, and now Fitz getting the rule change, complaining works. So congrats to that. Keegan wins. Everybody is excited to see starting the Ryder Cup playing captain. He's getting USA chance as he comes up 18, where Will Knights tweeted that to everybody at PGA Tour events for the next year and a half, you did not have to chant USA at Keegan Bradley for the next 12 months.
Enjoy it now.
Yeah.
Enjoy it now. Then the knives come out as soon as you make one wrong move. Yeah.
We'll see.
Then you get people calling you sir.
Don't
Keegan might get sirred at the 2026 Waste Management. We'll see. Brendan, you had a great tweet here of the whiplash from going to the Old Course 18th, where Lydia Ko gets her trophy, to the floral waterfall of Castle Pines with just this looks
whiplash.
ridiculous.
Sam Burns.
I really like this. And then Andy and Will combined for this one. Andy says, seeing the crowds rushing up 18 following Keegan, Denver must be a ball frog city. And Will Nice with an Uncle Rico Photoshop of how much you want to bet I can leap over them mountains with the ball frog photoshopped on Uncle Rico there.
Did they go into the fairway of 18?
Oh yeah, it was like the floodgates were open.
That's now become a fabricated thing. That's become
manufactured. There were people calling for getting major championship golf to Denver after this week.
That also was a Peyton Manning subplot, is that apparently Castle Pines has brought him into the fold somehow in an effort to get major events back to the Denver metro area.
I mean,
I don't know.
Denver should have major golf events, but
Denver likes to weaponize Peyton.
Yeah,
it is weird how they weaponize Peyton, because I think of Peyton as a Bronco for some reason, just because of all of this association.
As a Colt, you mean?
Well, he's too young to remember him as a Colt.
Oh, I remember him as a Colt. I mean, he beat the best Jets team of my lifetime in the AFC Championship after the Jets were up 17 points at halftime.
My Bears too.
So I remember him as a Colt, but I feel like he in retirement has gone full Bronco.
Yeah, I feel.
Well, he owns all the Papa Johns. He owns all the Papa Johns out there. It's a business play. He knows the more people come to Denver, the better the Papa Johns do.
Oh God!
Speaking of Papa, as I was driving down here, I had the Giants game on the radio just to check in. Papa not doing well with
how could
anything.
Do you think Papa would have rather been on the call for Bernie?
Yes.
I asked you this question. I think the answer is obviously yes. How could it not be? Finally, this week on the Champs Tour, Stu Cink wins. Finally gets off the schneid. We thought he would be cleaning up, given that he's 50 years old and still plays on the PGA Tour. But nope, not that easy. Stu gets the win, but Steve Allen's caddy goes up in the tree. I don't know if you guys remember this.
No, why would we remember this? Why would we remember this, PJ? Steve Allen, an individual by the name of Steve Allen's caddy, and the regular season Champions Tour event. Why would we remember this?
Because he was climbing up a tree. I don't know. I thought it was funny. So I thought it was a nice visual. Climbing up the tree. They couldn't find the ball. Wherever the ball was, it was not the top of the tree. This poor guy trying to find the ball. Takes Steve Allen out of contention for Stu Cink's first win. That's what I have for the BMW. Not a ton going on. Ludwig got a nosebleed from the altitude. Did not like the altitude.
That'll happen out there. Yeah. We do have I know there's questions about the Chaplin bag giveaway. Maybe we haven't talked about that enough the last few iterations. Still going. We got 3 more.
This is the only 1 week. We're gonna give one out this week. There's only 1 episode this week.
I sent you both a couple options. I sent one from today. There was a great live comment from today, and my favorite
got the notification for this, and I'm at Disney World with my kids, but I had to pop in and say happy holiday. That's a great way to get out of Disney World duties. Watch your interview live on YouTube. So yeah, we got several more bags to give out. Not several, but a few more bags to give out. So keep commenting. These are going to be up all through the holidays. The whole point, we're giving you 20 hours of audio, video to watch, 23 hours
so
over the next 10 days. Ignore your family, ignore your travel, when you're traveling, whatever it is. This is the point of year in review. All right, we're going to the last event of the year, the Net Tour Championship, presented by Southern Company and Coca-Cola.
I'd like to say that I put my full effort into this week, but I didn't.
This is a year review tradition. I think it started with you forgetting that you had this one, or a confusion over who had it. You're like, I guess we'll just end it now. So I love this. I love that it's become tradition.
You just are always going to give me this week because I
think I am. I think I am. See, like what kind? It's great. It's the best.
All right, Andrew Green. It's Andrew Green week.
Oh, yeah.
It is Andrew Green week.
Lots of chatter about the golf course. Victor Hovland said, just every single hole is different. It's going to take a slightly different game to play well this week compared to what it used to be last year. So you have like one's like just diabolical out of the gates. You have the on course out of bounds drama, everything.
Oh yeah.
The tournament starts. Scotty Scheffler shoots a 6 under 65 in PGA Tour comms. Tweets, Scotty Scheffler cards a 6 under 65 and holds a 7-stroke lead after the first round of the Tour Championship.
Yep.
Scheffler is the first player to hold a lead of 7 strokes or more after 18 holes of a tour event on record, 1983 to present. Just ignoring that he started with a giant lead.
I remember even like basically tour employees or tour adjacent employees were like, come on, you cannot tweet this. You cannot tweet about his lead when he started.
884,000 views.
A couple strokes ahead. This got ratioed into the center of the earth as it should have.
I know you this is in no chronological order. I usually order these things. Today it was not getting this.
You're fine.
NLU poll. As a golf fan, is the Tour Championship format working for you on Twitter?
I mean, the sample
this is
size
on Sunday.
A little bit. The respondents.
14,000 responses. 84% or 84% say no. 16% say yes.
I mean, come on. That's like going to the Penn State game asking them whether like the SEC or Big Ten better. But yes, the format's not working for a big subset of the population.
So we saw we'll get to the Creator Classic in a little bit.
Sure.
But we saw the creators going down the other fairway on 18, the 10th fairway on 18. So they decided right before the tournament start, they named that and in-course out of bounds. And they also, it was another hole, like 7 and 8, maybe they deemed in-course out of bounds. So that happened.
That's right.
Sahith Theegala, maybe like a heartwarming moment of the week for anybody that still believes golf's a game of integrity. Sahith Theegala called a penalty on himself. Maybe the first Tour Player of the Year calling a penalty on himself. There was like indiscernible evidence with they went to the replay, like hyper slow-mo camera, and Sahith said, I felt the club grazed the sand on the way back, and I'm calling the penalty on myself. He said something like, I'm not good with it. I'm calling. So like they were like, we can't see anything.
Yeah.
So that was big. So Monahan had 2 disasters. He had the pre-tournament disaster,
Press conference,
but he also had Sunday. So we'll get to the press conference in a minute. So Sunday, he got booed when he went to the stage to talk.
This is a friendly place, friendly confines too. As friendly as it'll get.
He got booed.
Atlanta.
But this is Joseph's newsletter on it. Jay Monahan spoke after the Tour Championship's conclusion, which isn't unusual. Most major sports commissioners get up on the dais to toast the season and hand the winning team owner the championship trophy. Golf improves on that in one respect. No team owners gain the glory first. Golf falls short in another key way, though. No other sport sees their commissioner talk that long. Most recently, when Adam Silver presented the Celtics with the Larry O'Brien Trophy this summer, he managed to congratulate Boston's ownership, front office, head coach, players, and fans, then hand over all the hardware, all in 40 seconds of talk time. Monahan spoke for 3 minutes and 50 seconds, opening with a microphone malfunction that led him to restart from the top.
Oh, yeah, I
forgot about that.
I love Lamagna running the numbers.
Still hurt.
Your ribs hurt. He had to start over.
Then thanking various people and corporate sponsors in meandering fashion before even really getting to Scotty at all. This was carried live on Network NBC. What are we doing?
Joseph's getting into the numbers. So good. NBA, just spraying the data. Like it.
Scotty on the year and scheduling said, I played the Memorial the week before the U.S. Open, and the Memorial is basically as close to U.S. Open as we see on tour. I think it kind of wore me down going into the major championship. So not really great for the Memorial spot in the schedule. Jack doesn't like it. Scotty doesn't like it. Sports Illustrated teamed up with Live Golf for a co-branded Dallas event.
Yes.
Forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
I clicked on the webpage. It was dead, so I couldn't get any visuals and did not dig in deep. All right, let's get to the Creator Classic. The week started with the PGA Tour publishing a ranking of the Creator Classic field, a power ranking.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
Number one was Wes Bryant.
Yeah, there's a mix of like bona fide tour pros, college stars, and then like,
Number two was Paige.
Okay.
Number three was Brad Dahlke, USAM runner-up.
Where'd this guy come from?
Luke Kwan was 4, who ended up winning. Garrett Clark 5. Fat Perez was number 6. George Bryan, who's played in numerous PGA Tour events, was number 7. Maybe the conspiracy.
Maybe there is a conspiracy.
Gabby Golf Girl, fellow member of the Pro-Am Tea Time with me and Blocky, was number 8. Sean Walsh 9. I think Roger Steele was like 16.
Oh gosh. Eventual winner.
Definite winner.
Power rankings.
What was it? So the way the format worked, I didn't get this deep into it.
I have this burned into my memory for.
So someone won, but then there was so if you win, it didn't matter if you won. You automatically went into talk about contrived bullshit.
It was an 8-hole tournament to pick 4 people to play the 18th hole.
You could win by 8 shots
to then
you still
claim
have to be
the
in the
winner.
playoff.
To claim the winner on the 18th hole by itself.
Wasn't the runtime like 3 hours or something?
I think it might have been
very
even
long.
longer.
Yeah. God.
So that was I love this in Shaq's newsletter. He asked ChatGPT to summarize the Creator class. Viewers in the chat are mostly negative and critical about the live stream. They are expressing disappointment with the current lineup of golfers being featured and are questioning the relevance of the ads and sponsorships being shown.
Because they were
they
would cut to a guy cooking on a Blackstone off the 6th fairway.
Well, Blackstone was the
official
sponsor.
Yeah,
official griddle of the
so
PGA
weird.
Tour. Yeah.
I remember everybody was like, "Wait, why aren't the guys mic'd up?" Right?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that a big when they do their own? They're basically you should have just let them all do their own live stream, and it would have been better.
Yeah. I don't know how these things get executed, but it did well from the numbers wise, I believe.
Speaking of the chat, you know who made an appearance in the chat?
Oh, yeah, no, I do.
Bryson DeChambeau. As you tweeted, suspended from the tour, but not the tour's YouTube chat. So Bryson
mixed it up in there. Yeah.
Bryson's in there.
Yeah.
Lots of clamoring for Bryson to be in the Creator Classic field.
Sure.
And Luke Kwan wins. Everybody plays down the 10th hole except for Roger Steele. That's an honorable Chicago man there, not playing.
Wait, Luke Kwan won? I thought Roger Steele won.
No.
Okay. This is how much it's. I guess
Roger Steele won the 8
life.
Holes to get into the 9th hole.
Okay. Luke Kwan wins. All right. But everybody plays down the internal OB except for Roger.
Yes.
Including PGA Tour player Wesley Bryan, who then asks for relief from the grandstand because he took it too far left.
PJ has every detail just permanently imprinted on his brain.
Well,
I
This is
actually,
who
I
the
think
Creator
that's one of the
Classic's
most.
for.
I think that was one of the most ridiculous things to ever happen this year. We've talked about so many ridiculous things. An actual PGA Tour player taking it out of bounds and then asking for TIO in a fake made-up thing. Are we kidding?
Against non-PGA Tour players.
Are we kidding?
PJ's worked up. I love it.
Wait, I didn't think Roger Steele won the 8 holes.
I thought he did.
I think somebody else did. I think he got in.
Okay.
Um,
Luke Long wins.
But anyways, this is hailed as a smashing success
Yep.
by all PGA Tour people.
Yep.
It might be why Jay, in speaking to the media on Wednesday, said the entertainment value of the PGA Tour has never been stronger.
What is this headshot? Screenshot. I keep every time he talks, you guys are just throwing this where it looks like he's being electroshocked and having to stare into the screen and say words against his will.
Trying to just a great tweet summing up this said, "What a wildly unimpressive press conference. It somehow gets worse every time. Even more arrogance and less answers, more platitudes and buzzwords and less clarity than ever. Can't imagine anyone watching that and thinking, man, that's still our guy. Everything is looking up."
I mean, he said there's not a lot he could say. He's
one of the things he said was that Friday is the most important day on the PGA Tour because of cuts, and it's like you're literally getting rid of cuts in the biggest events.
Forgot about that. Yeah, not good.
He said it as like part of like a FedEx Fall thing.
Okay.
He said winning on the PGA Tour remains incredibly difficult. It is the ultimate achievement in golf, which I guess if you consider majors PGA Tour events, then yes, but they aren't your tournaments. They aren't. You're just sort of lucky that you get attached, for the time being, some little tentacle to the major championships.
Oh, that's good. That's good. He was not good that Wednesday.
Oh, he was terrible. I would go into more. It just doesn't matter though.
Yeah, we don't need to. He made $28 million or whatever. We'll find out in a year when the filings are released. Who knows? Commenter Jay is Timu CEO. TDMU like knockoff. All right. YouTube commenter. Go ahead.
All right.
Luke Kwan's video of the Creator Classic, Wes Bryant is the one who told him to go down the other fairway.
Oh my God.
What are we doing?
Bonafide.
You had a great one of your favorite things is the things that the PGA Tour's catchphrases and different things they use. Do you remember this week's new catchphrase?
I didn't.
They officially bolded, capitalized FedEx Cup starting strokes.
Which the proper noun now.
We can only hope becomes sponsored. I could see FedEx Cup starting strokes brought to you by Procore.
It's not a staggered leaderboard. It's not net championship. It's capitalized FedEx Cup starting strokes. Capitalized. All right. That will be branded.
Scotty won by a lot. It was awful. It was like, like we've had this format, and amazingly only one time was it just like a complete sleepy, like there's no way anything's gonna happen but Scotty win. Scotty, Kyle Porter had this tweet that summed up the year of Scotty, and let's go into that a little bit. Scotty Scheffler earned $62 million, 62 million and change in total PGA Tour money this year. That's $3.3 million per tournament, $830,000 per round, $12,000 per shot, and $3,000 per minute on the course, assuming a 4.5 hour round. Insane.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Lucrative.
Scotty also shanked a bunker shot. It was like a cold shank. I think this was on Saturday. This might be the most interesting the whole weekend was.
I really don't remember anything from the weekend other than Scotty winning.
The worldwide leader couldn't comprehend the scoring for the week. Their scoreboard online was in complete shambles. PJ, do you have this?
Yep, it's coming up right now.
So they have it listed Scotty Scheffler first -3. This was on Thursday.
Yeah.
Xander Schauffele -4 is in second. Adam Scott, who's 6 under, is in fourth.
Preposterous.
So anyways, everything's good in PGA Tour world. Here, let's get to a couple quotes on Scotty. Adam Scott on Scheffler. I think it is on par with those great years of Tigers. I think it's very hard today for anyone to separate themselves as much as Scotty has. I don't think we've seen that in a long time. I think it's harder to do it today. JT on Scotty. I just think how well he plays when he's that guy, the guy to beat every single week. I don't think people understand how hard that is to do when you're expected to win, when you're the favorite to win, when every single thing you're doing is being looked at good and bad on the course, and how hard it is to get into your own little zone and own little world and truly just quiet the noise. It's something that is just as much of a skill as being able to hit a driver or iron online. He's clearly figured that out well. Collin Morikawa won the Gross division. His quote after the round, I knew that was kind of the goal for the week, right? To come out on top of this kind of fake leaderboard and see how things played out.
Who was that?
Morikawa.
Fake leaderboard. Oh,
well, he's saying the Gross division.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Just like,
right.
I just want to win the Gross division, and then let's see what happens. Speaking of, here's the real versus the fake leaderboard.
The shadow board. Love that. Who won it? Who was?
Do you have that, PJ?
Who won the?
Did I send you the real leaderboard versus the fake leaderboard?
Oh yes. Hold on. You sent that one to me last. I'm getting it.
So yeah. Wait, what did you say, BP? Great radio here.
Shadow leaderboard. I mean, this is not good when you have Collin Morikawa, one of the best players on the tour, and one of the best players of the year, saying I need to win the fake leaderboard. This thing is officially been branded as kind of a shame.
So if everybody started at even par, Morikawa wins. Sahith is second with a 2-shot penalty. Right. Scotty's third. Russell Henley's fourth. Adam Scott's fifth. With the strokes, it goes Scotty, Morikawa, Sahith, Russell Henley.
Sure.
What's interesting is like effectively what happens is like the leaderboard here, for example, just ended up the same for the top 5, just in a different order.
Okay.
Which is silly because like, here's the thing is historically, when we look back on the year, the FedEx Cup's going to say that Russell Henley was the fourth best player on tour this year. He didn't win once. That's ignoring like Hideki, Xander's the fifth or the fourth, tied for fourth. Him and Henley had that's the issue with this whole maybe the biggest issue with the whole thing.
Yeah.
All right. Other than that, ratings were up for Women's Open at the Old Course. 42% ratings increase. BMW down 19%. That's it. That's all.
That's it from this week.
That's all I got.
That's a bow. Scotty wins the Tour Championship. You did all right. You did well. That's better than nothing.
You know what I was bummed about?
I didn't remember. Yeah.
I was bummed that we didn't get to go into the President's Cup and Pendy's struggles on the 17th.
You want to keep going? You want to do Procore and all the fall series, Sanderson and everything else? We could add that next week.
We would cover.
We trying to hypothetically take down a tree.
Yeah.
Well, what if it wasn't there?
The Bow Show.
All right. That does it for the 6th annual year in review. Thank you all for your patronage. The response.
What did we do the first year? Did we do year in review the first year?
We did. We were like, what do we do? We have a 3-day-a-week podcast. Let's just talk about this.
God, we were idiots. We did it in between Christmas and
yes.
I think that might have like caused irreparable damage to my relationship with my wife for a couple of years.
Well, we appreciate the response to this. People enjoy it, and that's why we do it. So thank you. Thanks to the various sponsors who've been involved: Fat Cork, Swag, Stripe, whatever, True Golf, and then obviously Club TFE. So this, listen to this on your own timeline. I know it's some 20 hours of audio,
It's gonna
probably.
be more
PJ?
over,
I
should be
love
over 20.
you telling people at the very end of it to listen on their own timeline.
It will be.
That's a good
over
point.
by the
That's
time
a
you
good
just
point.
heard that.
It's a very good point, Andy. This is pretty pointless. But yes, maybe
We're
they're
gonna
watching live. I don't know.
We're
and
going to
then
be
they're
back
out of order.
before the end of the year.
Yeah, the 30th. We're going to be back Monday the 30th. Set up some stuff for Century Week. So thank you guys.
Are we going to do live when we're back?
I don't know. TBD. Let's talk about that next week.
We will be doing more live.
We will.
That's a promise.
I don't know when and where or how much, but there will be more, which was more than about 2 or 3 last year. So honestly, everyone have a great holiday. You probably already had the holiday by now when you're listening to this, but we are very grateful for another year of support of the Shotgun Start and Fried Egg Golf. It means a lot. So we'll be back better than ever. I don't know about it. We'll be back. I don't know if we'll be better than ever, but we'll be back in 2025. You motherfucker. You suck at it.
Yeah! Oh, you're a master of karate. Friendship for everyone. Fighter of the night.
What a ridiculous wrinkle. Let's become part of the podcast. All right.
Man, we sure are spitballing, aren't we, Rich?
We're going to get in the lab and spitball next week for 2025.
No.
You're just
No way.
machine gunning this kid.
No way.
Yeah. Just
Russ Cochran would take anybody that hosts the podcast, give them 2 aside, and play them for their car podcasts.
All right.
What a year. All right. We'll see you guys later. Thanks.